Yeah, that way.
Come back a bit, mate.
Okay, guys. Now we're going to do this gently because then once we've done it, okay. So what do you want, Jimmy? What do you want first, guys? What do you want first? Stand in here? Yeah. Stand there. I think you have to go down. Slow, please. Please. Can I ask you a What's the fun? Jimmy! And just this way, Jimmy! Keep spinning around, mate. Closer together, Jimmy. Jimmy, closer together.
And what does it feel like to be going down on your hands and knees for rock and roll?
Well, to actually be the first one here, to put my hands in the cement, you know, and make that sort of statement as such, I think it's great. You know, it's a real honour to be asked to be the first one in. I've done it. I did this once before on a rock walk in LA, and there they did two, because there was one for the outside and then they put one in storage in case there was an earthquake. So hopefully we won't have any problems like that here.
Just going to whiz through the history of Led Zeppelin, if that's at all possible. Right. Just wondering what you're most proud of that era. Is there something that you look back at and think, I can't believe we actually accomplished that?
Well, it's not as though we didn't hope when we were, even from Zeppelin 1, that it was going to sort of hold up and last for quite a while, and more to the point, be respected by your musical sort of peers, you know, contemporaries, that would say, that you had a really good band going, you know. So, in actual fact, that's exactly what has happened, you know, and it's been a great legacy. That's what I'm proud of, is the legacy of it, the fact that it's turned so many people on to want to play, and that's what pulled me into playing music, hearing musicians that really, sent shivers down my spine. So it's great. That's it. It's a legacy, and that's what I'm really proud of.
Because you accomplished so much in so few years. I mean, how quickly did you grow up, and how old do you feel now?
I don't know whether I've ever grown up, really. You know, it's certainly very youthful music that was being made, and really intense and ferocious at times as well.
So, I mean, what do you consider yourself as now? Because obviously you're a musician first, but you've been at the forefront of producing. I mean, you produced all the albums, and with the DVD just coming out. How do you see your role nowadays?
Well, actually, you've covered quite a lot of things that I have been doing. The last thing that was put out was the DVD. I think my role right now is the last two major projects that I did was to do an album and do a tour with the Black Crowes that I really, really enjoyed, and then put together the Led Zeppelin DVD. The reason for that was that there was no visual material that was out there, really, and so the studio recordings have been put out in many different shapes and form, but this was something that was sorely missing, because Zeppelin built its material on live performances. So that had to be done. But the last two projects that I did quite clearly are relative to Led Zeppelin music with the Crowes. And so right now it's time for me to be doing some new music that maybe people wouldn't quite expect that I would be doing, but it's not going to be polite. It's going to be right there. And that's what it needs. It needs some new, vital music from me.
Talking about playing live, I'm sure you've been asked this. Well, you might have been asked it already today. I mean, what's stopping Zeppelin touring? Because obviously you've been so careful with preserving the image of you at that time. What is it that's stopping you? And would there ever be a day you could envisage it happening?
I don't know. But what I do know is I can't answer that question. You know, it's far too nebulous a situation. It really is. It's very cloudy. But what I do know is that after when I worked on the DVD, it took a good sort of best part of a year of getting it all together and researching it and loading it and mixing it and presenting it and compiling it. And I really thought that if there was going to be any sort of overtures made by the rest of the band, it may well be after that point, once we visited the first nights of the premieres. But there wasn't anything forthcoming, so there you go.
Yeah, what can you do? Obviously, you've spawned a numerous copy, basically artists copying your style. White Stripes sort of spring to mind.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you feel about influencing other people?
Well, this comes back to what the legacy is of the band, and the fact of what turned me on to want to play, or even John Bonham, or anybody else, or Jeff Beck, or Jimi Hendrix, whoever you want to say. There's those sort of initial records that you hear, and talking guitar-wise here, and the guitarists that really make you want to be able to do what they're doing. So if there are bands that are there that are playing with the spirit of what we had, well, that's fantastic, because that's the way that music continues to go on and grow and grow. You know, I mean, we may have made massive statement with what we were doing, and we may push musical boundaries. I know we did, forward and forward. But that's great that continues. So that's what you want. And good luck to them all.
That's it. I mean, obviously there's a lot of fans. Who's the strangest person who's come up to you and said, "Oh, I've been a fan of Led Zeppelin for years"? Have you ever sort of met anybody and thought, "Oh, it's a surprise"?
Well, what do you mean? Well, I don't know about
in
strange.
terms of somebody in the public eye, is there any way you thought, "Oh, I didn't attach you and Led Zeppelin"?
Well, I'd probably say Tony Blair.
They're a really big fan. What did you hope for the band when you first all got together? Because obviously you formed them as the new Yardbirds. So what did you think? Because you just took them out to fulfil a tour at the beginning.
What did I'm sorry, say the question again. I was still reflecting on the strange people.
What did you expect from the band when you first got them together? Because obviously you put them in to sort of fulfil a tour at the beginning.
No, it wasn't quite that. No. When the Yardbirds folded and the drummer Jim McCarthy and Keith Ralph wanted to do something that was, they just wanted to do something new, and they didn't want to do anything to approach the Yardbirds. I knew what I'd managed to be building on my own, because don't forget I'd been doing studio work, so consequently after the studio work where it was discipline, well, quite clearly I had a chance to really open up and be, to do whatever I wanted to be doing in a sort of avant-garde manner, And what I'd learnt in the Yardbirds, was that I really enjoyed doing this, and I didn't want to stop. I certainly wasn't going to go back to working in the studio. So it was quite. It was at a point after the Yardbirds folded where I really wanted to form a band that was going to go on and on and on, and keep the members. It wasn't going to be a transient situation. It was going to be a band of members that was going to go, go places, and that's what it was.
Okay. And finally, you mentioned your new project. Just wondering what stage you're at and when we can expect to see it.
New project. Well, I've got the rest of the year once the children go back to school to start working on it, and hopefully it'll surface next year.
And what can we expect? Can you give us a brief insight?
No.